This is PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube.
Our top stories for today. Tinubu reaffirms full support, backs Wike's FCT projects. And a potential breakthrough in the Israeli-Gaza conflict raises hopes. We begin with President Bola Tinubu, who has pledged full support for FCT Minister Nyesom Wike's infrastructure drive as he inaugurated a major link road in Abuja, promising inclusive development and practical impact for residents. Tessa Phillips shares more details.
President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's full support for FCT Minister Nyesom Wike as the Federal Capital Territory continues its push for infrastructure-driven transformation. At the inauguration of the newly constructed collector road C98, connecting Jabi's Obafemi Awolowo Way to Olusegun Obasanjo Way in Dakibiu, Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, praised Wike's speed and commitment to development. He declared that Abuja must reflect the dignity of its people, adding that the government's goal is to ensure no part of the city is left behind in progress. The road project, he said, symbolizes more than just improved transport. It's a statement of intent that governance must deliver and leadership must inspire. Tinubu emphasized that modern infrastructure is not just steel and asphalt, but a clear advertisement of purpose, order, and vision. He noted the road would ease traffic, unlock economic potential, and improve daily life for residents, calling it an example of renewed hope. Tinubu said the real measure of progress lies in practical impact where communities thrive, services reach faster, and the dignity of citizens is restored. Tessa Phillips, PS News.
And in politics, Mark and Rauf Aregbesola have emerged as interim leaders of a revived ADC, forming a broad opposition front to challenge APC in the 2027 elections. Emmanuela Okechukwu powers us up on this report.
Nigeria's political landscape is shifting ahead of the 2027 elections as former Senate President David Mark and ex-Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola emerge as interim national chairman and secretary of the newly restructured African Democratic Congress, ADC. The move finalizes a long-rumored opposition coalition aimed squarely at challenging President Bola Tinubu's administration and the ruling APC. The coalition brings together heavyweights from across political spectrum: Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Nasir El-Rufai, and Rotimi Amechi among them. Their unifying goal: to offer Nigerians an alternative rooted in ideology, integrity, and democratic values, not personal politics. In his address, Aregbesola criticized the current state of Nigerian parties, calling them hollow vehicles for personal ambition. He pledged to build a disciplined, transparent, and people-centered institution, one that promotes internal democracy and represents youth, women, workers, and marginalized groups, drawing inspiration from South Africa's ANC and other international models. He emphasized party supremacy, national development, and accountability. David Mark's resignation from the PDP to lead this new coalition is a significant blow to the opposition party, signaling deep cracks within its leadership and further weakening its 2027 prospects. His departure not only strips PDP of a respected elder statesman, but strengthens the momentum behind a united third force. With a clear ideological mission and strategic backing, the ADC coalition is positioning itself as a credible contender in a political space long dominated by two major parties. Whether it can translate structure into voter support remains the next step. Ella Okechukwu, PS News.
A daring robbery attempt at an FCMB branch ended in failure after a man who hid in the bank ceiling overnight was discovered and apprehended by security operatives the next morning. Let's hear Joycelyn on this report.
It sounds like a scene from a heist movie, but it happened in real life. A viral video is making rounds across Nigeria showing the stunning moment a young man was dragged out of the ceiling of an FCMB bank after what appears to be a failed overnight robbery attempt. According to eyewitnesses, the suspect allegedly entered the bank during normal business hours, posed as a customer, and quietly slipped into the restroom. Once inside, he locked himself in, climbed the ceiling, and waited for staff to close up for the day. But what he didn't expect was to get trapped. The next morning, when employees arrived for work, they noticed something strange. The bank's entrance was locked from the inside. Alarmed, they forced the doors open only to hear suspicious noises from above. That's when they called for backup. Security operatives and bystanders worked together to flush him out. The viral video shows the suspect being forcefully pulled down from the ceiling and roughened up by the police, tied up with a rope before authorities took over. Sources say he was caught attempting to tamper with the bank system, though it's unclear what damage, if any, was done. As of now, FCMB has not released an official statement and the full extent of the breach is still unknown. But the failed ceiling heist has already sparked serious questions about banking security, public vigilance, and how far some will go for a shot at easy money. One thing is certain, this time the ceiling came down on the thief. I'm Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada, and this is PS News.
And on the international scene, a potential breakthrough in the Gaza conflict. President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to the terms of a 60-day ceasefire, raising hopes for a pause in a war that has already claimed tens of thousands of lives. But will Hamas take the deal? Here's Joycelyn once more with the full details.
President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to the key conditions for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza, part of a US-backed plan to pause fighting and push for a broader resolution. The deal, mediated by Qatar and Egypt, includes the release of some Israeli hostages and the return of bodies in exchange for a halt in hostilities. Trump warned Hamas to accept the offer, saying it will not get better. So far, Hamas has not responded publicly and Israel hasn't officially confirmed its approval. About 50 hostages remain in Gaza, with around 20 believed to be alive. Talks are intensifying, with Israeli envoy Ron Dermer meeting top US officials in Washington ahead of Prime Minister Netanyahu's meeting with Trump next week. The war began after Hamas' October 7 attack killed around 1,200 people in Israel. Since then, over 56,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza's health ministry. Israel says the war will end only when Hamas is dismantled. Hamas wants a permanent ceasefire and full Israeli withdrawal. The question now is whether this ceasefire plan can finally bring a turning point. Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada, PS News.
And on sports, former Nigerian under-23 coach Samson Siasia has sparked controversy after revealing he rejected a 91 million naira bribe from John Obi Mikel's agent to include the midfielder in the 2008 Olympic squad, despite Mikel allegedly snubbing a key qualifier. Here's Sam with the full scoop.
In a stunning revelation, former Nigeria under-23 coach Samson Siasia has claimed he rejected a 91 million naira bribe equivalent to 50,000 euro from the agent of footballer John Obi Mikel ahead of the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games. Speaking in an interview with Aregbesola TV Sport, Siasia alleged that Mikel's agent tried to buy the midfielder's place in the Olympic squad, despite Mikel refusing to play during the qualifiers. Siasia said he pleaded with Mikel to join the team for a crucial must-win match against Ghana Black Meteors in Accra, but the Chelsea midfielder declined, citing club commitment. According to Siasia, Mikel wasn't even a regular starter at the time, but still refused to show up for his country. Siasia said he told Mikel's agents if he doesn't help Nigeria qualify, he wouldn't be going to the Olympics, and he still didn't show up, Siasia said. Despite the pressure, Siasia claims he stood his ground, refusing the money and keeping his selection based on merit. Nigeria eventually qualified and went on to win a silver medal at the Beijing Olympics. The disclosure has reignited debate over corruption and favoritism in Nigerian football, raising questions about how many national team selection may have been influenced by off-field dealings. As of now, neither Mikel Obi nor his representative have publicly responded to the allegation. Samuel Akban for PS News.
You just watched PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube. This is your trusted voice for news that matters. Subscribe, like, share, and stay informed.